Welcome to the show.
This guy got a mistletoe belt on.
Gosh, that is bad.
The whole plane smells like weed.
Those were the days. It's a joke, you idiot.
Looked in the mirror, I'm like,
Good old innocent fun. Welcome back, everybody, to Troublemakers, the podcast where each week we bring on a guest and they tell crazy stories about their lives. I'm your host, Dylan Krasinski, coming to you from a beautiful day in Brooklyn. The candles are, in fact, lit today. They are lit, and we're ready to have a good time. With me, as always, is my fabulous co-host, coming from his nephew's communion with that shirt, the big dog, everybody, Mr. Ray Zawodni.
I'm sorry that I'm not allowed to celebrate the season with some summery clothing.
He came in and goes, "Happy first day of summer."
Well, I went summer clothes shopping with my mom, and she loved this one. But yeah, it's Wednesday. It's a beautiful Wednesday here. Did you mention that the candles were lit?
They are lit, dude. It's a big deal.
They are lit. It's Wednesday, so you know
smell
what that
it?
means.
smells good.
Oh, yeah.
It's an all-new Troublemakers, baby, and you can catch us either with our full episodes on YouTube, full video episodes, so you could see all of our pretty faces, and you could see the shirt that Dylan was making fun of for good radio, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Pods, and leave ratings and reviews. That's what we always want, is ratings and reviews on those applications. And if you're going to leave us a rating, we're going to want 5 stars. If you do leave 4.8 stars, I am going to privately message you my address and urge you to meet me at my apartment building in Astoria, Queens, and fucking fight me. And if you can win, I'll let you leave the rating up. And that's my challenge. Anyways, we got a very special guest on today.
Hot guest, returning guest, dude. Did this a while ago. Second time, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Luke Touma.
How's it? Let's go.
Dude, it amps the people up, you know what I mean?
Sounds like I'm in the Ralph, dude. I love it, man. What's up? Thanks for having me, boys.
Dude, thanks for coming back, man. We appreciate it.
Well, Luke, you came a little bit late today, and you got me in trouble because I got stuck watching Dylan's new favorite show with him.
All right.
Oh, boy.
He's become a big young Sheldon head.
Of course.
Dude, unironically.
Dude, that's the thing. You got to realize about Dylan's taste. They're all unironic, which is, it's respectable. If he was like Brooklyn-y and doing it as a bit, I'd be like, oh, okay, very funny.
Yeah.
Dylan's the guy doing it for real.
Oh, I know. He kept telling me, he was like, no, dude, watch it though. It is funny.
This is a new low.
He kept coming, it is funny. And then there was nothing funny about it. And I, like an asshole, kept going, was that supposed to be funny? and then he starts going, well, this episode isn't that great. The first, 4 that I watched, really good episodes.
Okay, can I tell you, dude? This is as we're watching it. As we're watching
What are
it.
you, a 78-year-old woman who watches young Sheldon?
Dude, it's a little mindless. It's a little mindless sitcom. It's not bad. I've been getting, you know what it is? I've been getting the feeds. They keep giving me the shorts on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, this doesn't look bad. So I saw it. It was on HBO. So I was like, oh, I'll just throw an
algorithm that
on.
feeds you that is based on your interests.
All right, dude.
So they're like, this is a
yeah.
perfect demographic.
And boy, did they nail it. Boy, did they nail it. Dude, are you a Big Bang Theory guy?
No, not at all. I think that show's bad. Speaking of, when I'm watching Young Sheldon, hanging out, dude. Hanging out, just getting a little young ass, dude. Hanging out with my boys.
You can't call it young ass.
Young ass. No, that makes you sound like a
That's
child
true.
molester.
That's true.
You're gonna start calling it 8-year-old Sheldon, and that's when it becomes a problem.
Dude, how much of a creep does Dylan look like? He brings a girl home. She's like, "What are you doing?" Just watching Young Sheldon. That's all.
I will say
it's like Big Bang Theory, but he's a little boy.
It is worse.
Like Big Bang Theory, but sexier.
If this show just had a younger child in it.
Dude, that's
It's
so
not good.
funny.
I get it. I told my mom I was watching. She goes, "Oh, Dylan."
Your mom.
Yeah.
That's
She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, just catching up on some TV." She's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I just started watching the show Young Sheldon. Have you ever seen it? It's not bad."
Oh my. Well, you've heard his music, right?
Well, dude, you actually said one of the funniest things because we walked into the club the other night and I was with my girlfriend and she goes, "Oh, Dylan, you always have the best playlists." And you were like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" He basically plays music for, what did you say?
I said it's Forever 21 music. Dude, it's the music that they play at a strip mall in Lansing, Michigan. Like it's like when you're trying on shirts at H&M. It's the exact. That's the music Dylan loves. It's like unironically every song's like, I want to get better. I'm like, it's unreal, dude.
Hey, listen.
Dude, it's strip mall music.
I stand by that song. It's a great song, dude. It amps you up. Because you know what? I do want to get better. That's,
I actually think that's a respectable quality of yours.
Thanks, dude.
I agree with you saying that. Is that he will just be listening to some fucking Sum 41 or whatever it is, and if somebody makes fun of it, you'll be like, nah, dude, this is a great song.
Yeah, no.
All right, fuck it. Hell yeah.
No, Dylan has he's very like unabashed about it. He is confident in his taste. They happen to be the taste of like a 32-year-old autistic woman in Columbus, Ohio. But it's like
my crowd, dude. It's my crowd.
If you were from Middle America and you happen to be a little on the spectrum and you were a lady, you would listen to that song and you would really enjoy Young Sheldon. I think this is who it's made for.
Dylan's an angsty cat.
Dylan's a little skittish.
Dude, we're going to lose all the credibility of Troublemakers. I'm talking about Young Sheldon.
That is true.
Jesus
I
Christ.
ran into some young troublemakers last night.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, I got bullied last night
By kids on the subway?
by like two 12-year-olds on bikes walking home from my girlfriend's.
Ray told me this earlier, and it's the most irrational response. It's such a Ray response to this.
Dude, I got a lot of rage in me right now.
Okay.
And I was on the phone talking to Colin Chamberlain, and we're having a conversation where I'm just venting about how unhappy I am with my career and my life and everything else. And I feel somebody
let that drop, dude.
slap my shoulder right here. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I like turned down and like I said on the phone, these two kids are zooming by, and I was like, what the fuck? They're like 12-year-old kids. And the kid said something like, fuck you, fat ass. And then I was like, fuck you, get back here, you little asshole. And for like a second, I was like, why don't I just chase them down? Because they weren't moving quick enough. Like, I could have got to them if my reflexes were working a little faster and just booted one off the bike and just beat him mercilessly.
Dude, Ray at 34 years old, you see him on the news tomorrow just beating the shit out of a 12-year-old non-white kid.
But those kids wouldn't
Trouble.
do that.
A Dominican teenager.
If I did that, though, those kids wouldn't do that again because
Yes.
on the way to my girlfriend's later that day, like 2.5 hours later, because I went back to my house and walked back to her house, I see them, same kids on the bikes. There's a guy throwing something away in the trash can outside, and they pour water on him.
You know
Pour
what?
water on this dude.
Little mischievous boys.
I would say those kids need a good beatdown, but they probably get it enough at home. You know what I mean?
I've told you Christoph's story, right?
No.
My co-host, Rough Week Podcast. He
Get the little plug-in.
Little plug-in. He's a ginger, and he was walking. He was in Astoria, and he's walking down the subway platform. He just got off the subway, and he looked at some kind of like hood Dominican dude, and he just looked in his eyes for like a half a second too long. Until they made eye contact for too long. And then the guy goes, yeah, I like that pretty red hair, bitch.
Dude.
Wow.
And I said, if you're going to bully, if you were a Dominican, like an 18-year-old Dominican kid and you wanted to bully a white dude, Christoph would be your first pick.
Yeah. And
Red hair, glasses. Like, you'd be like,
Oh, yeah, dude. Just easy target.
that was
Hall
such
of
a
Fame.
prison line, too.
Yeah.
I like your little hair.
Yeah, I like that pretty red hair, bitch. Yeah,
You
it
gonna
is.
fight me or fuck me? What's going on? Jesus. I will say, dude, Luke told me on the way here, he was like, called me before the pod, and he was like, oh, yeah, after the pod, let's have a couple drinks. And I was like, yeah, definitely, dude. He goes, I can only drink Bud Light, though, because I'm driving.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta pick my dad up from the airport.
Dude,
No
that should be the slogan of Bud Light.
You can
Drink us
drive.
if you're driving.
Yes. I mean, I'm like, I could have 10 of these. I'll be sober.
Dude, I always say that's like a blue collar drunk. Like he'll get pulled over by the cops after like 10 beers and was like, I didn't even do shots. You're gonna breathalyze me.
I didn't have any whiskey, no tequila.
Yeah.
I'm sober.
Dude, I actually Luke never drank Bud Light until Dylan Mulcahy became the sponsor.
Mulvaney.
Mulvaney, whatever the fuck
Dude,
Yeah.
the name is.
Did you just fuck up her its name?
Oh, yeah.
The name?
What is the name,
Her
dude?
name
Damn
is
it,
name.
it backfired.
Yeah, you try to be PC. You go, did you fuck up its name?
Well, because to be honest with you, I read zero news, and I don't
The
really
least surprising thing ever said on this podcast.
and I don't really know anything. I don't know,
This is the shirt of a man who doesn't read.
or the shirt of a really old man in Florida that's all he does.
Yeah.
you know?
Dude, it's the shirt of a guy who only just looks at the pictures in the newspaper.
I'm dressed dress like the little old man from Up.
Mr. Fredrickson. You gotta, you do have that Mr. Fredrickson swag going.
Out there trying to attract little boys with balloons.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a quick question? Dylan Mulvaney did it go from fuck, man?
Keep going.
I'm not good at this.
Come on, keep going.
It was a girl that became a boy.
No, it was a boy,
That became a girl.
Boy that became a girl.
Still kept Dylan, a very effeminate name, I guess.
All right, dude, it's a manly name. It's a strong name for a man.
I'm gonna transition into a girl and I pick your name. That's so great.
Dude, I've said this. I have a joke about this, but I matched with a girl whose name was Dylan. Dude, any girl that I've ever seen whose name is Dylan is either like fat or the hottest girl I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is like a hot like.
You can't be
Scottsdale,
named
Arizona name.
a girl
That's tough.
Dylan and be ugly. You gotta be gorgeous.
Yeah.
If we got any female Dylans in the 3 women who listen to this podcast, let us know.
Shout out Dylan Mulvaney.
You have Luke's
Trans icon.
Luke's a hot dude name.
Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
If somebody was like, Luke's coming over, I'd be like, it's probably a hot guy.
I think there are hot guys named Luke.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them, but there are
No,
hot
I
guys.
think you got some flavor.
Thank you. I
know?
appreciate that, Ray.
Here's the thing, dude. I'm all
Ray's
about
super horny. He was looking, watching me hinge before the podcast, and he was like,
jerking off over his shoulder. I was getting a little distracted by how loud he was playing Young Sheldon, but
dude,
that
also
happened.
Ray told me, Ray goes, oh, well, I get it. I used to watch a lot of Big Bang Theory. I have the DVD sets at home.
you see, you're leaving out so many details. That's what you like to do. You're
What?
you're a real
What?
Democrat. Leaving out all these details. You're just deleting emails, basically. What I said is that my mom, in her spare bedroom when I would stay with her, she only had a DVD player, no cable in this room, and those were some of the only DVDs in there. So I would just flick them on before I went to sleep.
Yeah, so instead of falling to sleep with nothing, he decided Big Bang Theory.
Well, I always need something on the TV. I can't sleep unless people are speaking around me.
That's not great, but it's better than watching Young Sheldon.
All right,
choice.
You know what? I stand by my
algorithm gave it to you. That is so funny.
What's usually recommended to you?
Like sports stuff, and it's not cool. Cool stuff. Fucking podcasters we know.
Oh,
and like basketball. I like Jimmy Butler interviews. A lot of Jimmy Butler interviews. Some boxing stuff. Right now, though, I like really want to go to. We're going to New England. Like Autumn and I are going to spend a couple days in Newport. So I get white girl travel compilations from their summer in Nantucket.
Oh, that's fun.
It's all. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I gotta say, these girls are kind of knocking it out of the park. Yeah, it's like we don't bask in love. That's the song, and it's like coffee cup.
Is that a song?
Yeah. What's
That song ripped.
There's a guy Noah Kakan was it. We don't be the only thing we love, something like that. And then that's the song, and it's like 2-second videos. Coffee cup, beach, sailboat, brick building. Fucking puppy dog.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're like aesthetics of their Aperol. There's always an Aperol spritz in there.
Ooh.
Gotta get an Aperol.
Yeah, it's really Dylan's ideal life. It's like the summer.
Kind of sounds perfect, actually.
It kind of is though. These white girls are doing it right. The funny thing is they'll get bad comments like, it's their summer. They're like summering in Nantucket again, and it's this like amazing compilation of Nantucket aesthetics, and it's like gorgeous. And the comments are like, "This is called generational wealth, people." I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I wish I was wealthy. Like, yeah, it's like
I hate that, dude.
I'm like, she's not saying fuck the poor. She's saying, look at the coffee I had on the beach. Isn't
at my
this a nice
sick-ass life.
golden retriever? Yeah, what do you want?
Also, what's wrong with generational wealth? I don't have a problem with it.
Of course you don't.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I will say my algorithm is sports, like Jimmy Butler interviews, and then just tons.
Big ass titties.
Sometimes it's just dudes with Down syndrome doing shit.
Yeah.
I get
Doesn't
those.
matter what, dude.
The cooking shows.
Dressing themselves, whatever, picking their outfits. And they're like, look at my fit. And I'm like, fucking great, dude. I love that t-shirt.
I get so much parkour. I went through I can't get it out of my, like a year ago, I went through a big parkour week where I was just obsessed with watching it. And now I can't fucking flush it out.
Yeah,
people are like, "Hey, want to see this fucking dude do a backflip off of a fence?"
It's pretty sick.
You know what?
It's so
You
sick.
want what you don't have. Like me, you're watching this being like, I wish I could do that, dude. I wish I could run up those stairs like that. Look at that fucking guy go.
Yeah.
Look, he's not even out of breath at the top. Oh
he
my
didn't even take
God.
a break halfway through.
It is the white. It's the biggest white guy sport you can imagine, where it'll be like a public park next to like Section 8 housing, and there's guys doing like somersaults and backflips off it. They're like, isn't this a sick obstacle course? You're like, it's called Urban Decay.
Yeah. They're like, look at me jump flip this guy who's passed out on heroin.
Double backflip. I'm like, yeah, from one low income housing building to another.
And they're doing that because they can't make any of the sports teams at their schools because it's all the fucking black dudes coordinated football. They're like, dude, I'm 5'4". I can't be a fucking receiver. So I'm going to do a front flip off of this broken down ass slide at this park.
There's a lot of yoga looking guys in parkour. There's guys, a lot of man buns. It's
Real
very man
thin.
bun heavy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Real thin.
It's like athletic hacky sack kids.
Yes.
That's you know.
That's perfect.
That's what they evolved to.
Yeah, they're in the hackies. They're adjacent to the hacky sack demo.
You need that flexibility.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes who look like they can suck their own dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the vibe. Parkour guys are definitely sucking their
A lot
own
of dudes
dicks.
who get that bottom rib removed, you know?
I knew a dude that claimed he could blow himself.
Really?
He was a comic, and he moved from New York to Pittsburgh for a little bit. And he is sitting there, and he's telling me about it, and I'm like, really? Really? And he said it wasn't because he wasn't trying to flex that he had a giant dong, but he was saying that he was so flexible at one point that he would just suck his own dick. And I'm like, wow. And then he got real shy about it because he could tell how excited I was. And he was like, just keep that between yourselves. You know, he was telling the three of us at the table. And everybody's like, yeah. I told everybody. I was like so fired up about it. I was like, dude, you know, Max could suck his own dick.
Dude, it's so
He's sucking his own dick.
It's so funny you were too gay for the guy who sucks his own dick. He's like, I suck my own dick. You're like, really? That's awesome. He's like, all right, chill out, dude. Jesus.
Dude, I will say at 12,
I
the
said
thought
my own dick.
the thought of being able to suck your own dick when you're 12, you're like, oh, this is awesome. Imagine we could do this. Now you get older, you're like, oh, that's the gayest thing ever, actually.
No, dude, I'm always into circus freaks.
Sucking your own dick, if you could, would you?
You think you'd never do it?
I mean, you'd probably try it when
know-
you're a kid.
It would be weird to be just doing that on the daily.
What are you going to fucking...
That would be wild.
I would love to be super alpha.
Hey, guys,
and
I got to go take a nap, suck my own dick. I'll be in there.
I would love
You're in
to,
college, you're like, hey, can you... I got to, suck my own dick. Can you get out of here for a little bit?
Is
Wild.
it gay?
No.
I think it's gay.
Well, you
here's-
think it's gay?
here's
I think
the
it's
thing.
gay.
I would love to be super like lie and be like, I would never do it, but I would do it once and I would like make a rule. I'd be like, yeah, we're gonna do this, but don't finish in your own face. And then I would one time I would be like, you know what? Let's just give that a try, see how it feels, and I would do it every time.
You'd probably ruin blowjobs for yourself. Like a girl's never going to do it as well as you'll
You
do
got
it.
really good at it, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to say that I wouldn't do it or would try it once. I would do it all the time.
I do think, I fall on the it is definitely gay to want and do suck your own dick.
Yeah. You heard these guys, a lot of guys I talk to now can only finish with their hand when they're having sex with a lady.
That's problematic.
I don't like that. You gotta lay off the porn, fella. That's brutal.
Lay off the porn, the antidepressants, maybe try a guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds like what's going on.
I keep hearing this all the time. Like every other friend of mine's like, I can only finish with my hand. I'm like, that's brutal.
Every time I'm inside a lady, I just can't finish.
It's kind of narcissistic.
All right.
It is kind of
Yeah.
ego. There's an ego to that.
It's like, all right, your vagina was great.
Yeah.
Well, let me get back to business.
We're done here. He shifts over.
That's insane, dude.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good hand job.
I'm cool with a hand job.
Me too. You're not very sex positive.
I'm very sex
You're not
positive,
being sex
dude.
positive today. You're judging me for saying that I would
No,
blow
I think
myself.
that's nice, dude.
Not to mention, do you think I'm anywhere near
Hey,
blowing myself?
Hey, sorry, dude. I only fuck, okay? I watch Young Sheldon.
I was gonna say, I would assume a guy who watches Young Sheldon would definitely want to suck his own dick. that is suck your own dick program. Young Sheldon.
That would be the wildest.
That's
going to
be the name of the episode. Young Sheldon sucks his own dick.
God, dude.
Luke, have you ever killed anybody?
Have I killed someone? No, I never killed anyone, but we were driving around Goat Island near the Niagara Falls State Park, and there were these German people there for some convention, and my buddy said, roll down the window, and then he grabbed a handful of change and just threw it in some guy's face, And I distinctly remember it didn't make a cling sound. It made a solid thud. Like it was like you hit through a baseball mitt. So that guy might be dead. I might be accessory to murder. But I didn't kill anybody myself.
Oh, God.
This new segment is great.
It's great, dude.
Have you killed anybody?
Yeah.
I bet people are closer than you assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you were like, you had to think about it. Some people are just like, no. Other people are like, actually, one time we're gonna ask guests that, and they're gonna be like, yeah, and it was great.
I'll read stories. We used to like throw rocks over bridges or like put them in the middle of the street so cars would run over them. And I'll read stories where like a couple of teenagers killed a guy doing stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, we were just not good enough aim. Like if I had a better arm on me, someone would be dead.
Yeah, we used to do dumb shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like we used to roll big tires down the hill onto this golf course, like huge tires. And I remember one time my buddy hit a fucking golf cart that was driving. Fucking awesome. Nobody died. I mean,
Dude, that was Long Island. Long Island, we used to throw shit at people all the time. Snowballs, then fall acorns, then summer rocks. And then, dude, when I was like in middle school, these kids in high school all went to jail because they threw a watermelon over an overpass.
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
it fucking went through the lady's windshield, and she died.
So that people
She
this happened
died.
to.
It was like a Long Island story. I didn't know them, but it was a huge Long Island story.
That's crazy.
Just fucking over the overpass highway,
Yeah.
65 miles an hour, right through the windshield, killed her, crashed the car, dead.
Crazy. Yeah, I knew a buddy of mine that I went to, I haven't talked to him in years, but we went to like middle school together. He told me, I think we were like 14, and he was like, I have to tell you a secret. He's like, my cousin, he lived like in the countryside, and he's like, my cousins came over, and we were putting rocks in the street. It's like a country road, and he was like, some guy hit one, and the car just like flew into the woods, and we just ran away, and nobody ever came, like nobody said anything. And the guy's still, would never say his name, but the guy's still doing great now. So either the guy's alive, or it's just it's a cold case. Like you don't know who did it. But yeah.
Oh my God.
He told me in confidence when we were like in 8th grade.
Yeah, fucking tell it on the pod, baby.
Yeah, I won't say his name,
That's
but you know
crazy.
who you are.
see, this is why I should be walking around Astoria kicking these little hooligans' asses.
Yeah, dude, you could save a life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, you're going to end up choking one out on the sidewalk in Astoria.
Yeah, like that fucking veteran.
You talking about the hero? Who are you talking about?
I love the idea of Ray beating the shit out of Latino teenagers. And a cop's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm saving lives.
Vengeance.
I am Batman.
Justice.
Dude, can you imagine Ray as the Batman of Astoria?
But I wear no costume.
He's just Batman, but he doesn't have the funds. He's got like a paper mache, like one of those masquerade masks on. He's like, it's all they had at the dollar store.
He's in his full outfit, but he's just walking slowly along 30th Avenue.
In like broad daylight.
Yeah.
Just that shirt, and he's like, he sees someone getting bullied, and he's like, it's my time. And he pulls it out of his pocket, throws it on, sweating, walks over.
I'm watching them. They're all like, I could see you, dude. You're wearing a pastel shirt and you're huge. You're not Batman.
You're like, Ray? Is that you?
Just Ray in like a bar. Ray's in like Judy and Punch. He's like, as soon as happy hour's over, these jokers are finished.
I'm going to grab a bodega sandwich. Yeah. Then I'm going to find the penguin.
The opening of Spider-Man when he's eating the sandwich on top of the staircase.
Yeah,
that would just be you just walking around all the time. I gotta refill my calories.
Is this as who killed? So you asked the guests if they've killed someone?
It's been a new thing. Yeah, it's a new segment. Have you killed someone?
I like that.
Yeah.
No one's.
Someone's gonna say yes.
I think so, right?
I mean, dude, you've had like Derek Drescher on here, right? You've had like probable murderers on here. You're definitely getting some yeses.
Even if,
in fairness, the only people we've asked besides you are Danny Polishchuk and El Orlando.
Well, that's stupid. You got to go Derek Drescher, Gio Perez. You know the people to ask it. You got to ask the right people.
Dom probably knows someone who's killed someone, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Dom's
sure.
would be the best. He'd be like, yeah, I don't know, man. I did know this one street dude.
Man, there was this dude. He was in he used to come by the neighborhood sometimes, and he would give me like mushrooms, and he gave me a whole bunch of mushrooms, and then my cousin shot him, and we still finished the mushrooms. Like we were kind of laughing.
That was spot on.
Such a good Dom impression.
That was a really good Dom impression.
I love Dom, dude.
He's the best, dude.
He was our guest last week.
Dom's
Yeah,
the
last
best.
week guest.
Dom's a favorite on this pod, huh?
Never disappoints.
No, he's
This dude.
He
endless.
has done, he's done the pod the most out of anyone. 6 times.
That's great.
6 times.
We got to get him a jacket or something like they do on SNL.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like a gold
One
jacket.
of the recent comments shout out was once the pod blows up, you got to have Dom on 6 more times
That's great.
so people can appreciate it.
yeah. You need to like have Dom run back his old stories.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Play the hits like a Billy Joel concert. It's just Dom talking about smoking crack.
and we're like talking along with him because we know the words, you know. You know the rest.
Yeah.
Were you a fighter?
Did I
Ever?
fight? Yeah, I got in a couple fights. Nothing crazy. I got in a fight. I got fucking clocked by some Pats fans. We were on a ski trip, and it was a college ski trip, and basically they would take a bunch of schools, and you could go like to Mont Tremblant if you're at a college in the Northeast, and it was dirt cheap because they'd pack you onto these shit buses, and then they'd put you in these shit like super like dilapidated condos, and you basically paid like $300, and for like you could ski and be housed and get transportation both ways for like $300 for like 2 or 3 nights. It was
bad.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
And so we all went, but there were other colleges there. It was like a big weekend, which I'm sure the locals hated. Bunch of fucking.
The mayor's like, it stimulates the economy. This is important and critical. Please allow it.
It's like a bunch of fucking French Canadian people like enjoying their lodges, and a bunch of fucking Drexel University students come in
Just
like,
drunk and horny.
Dude, this guy's gay as hell. Dude, look at this guy. Dude, what's with you, dude? What's with this scarf, dude?
Look at me that way again, and I'll spit in your latte, bitch.
Dude, I'm going off the jump. I'm doing a double twisty. I'm doing a twisty off the jump. So we all went there, and I remember I was in. So we were in there. There was a drunk buses. They really set you up. This is more of a town thing. The town had drunk buses that would take you back to where like the little condos were. We're on the drunk bus, and we started getting in an argument. It was me and my buddies and all these guys from like, Massachusetts. And Bills, Pats, and the Bills weren't good at the time, so it was a sore subject. And they were talking. Tom Brady was on the Pats, blah 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 blah.
Fuck them.
And we're getting a big argument. And I remember the guys were like, "Yeah, Boston's the best, whatever." And then I remember I was like, "Oh, I bet these guys are not from the city of Boston." And I stood up on the seat of the bus and like announced to the whole bus. I was like, "These 2 motherfuckers are not from Boston. You know they're from 55 minutes outside the city. These are fucking frauds." And the people from my like 4 buddies and then like 40 other kids start dying laughing. And instead of choosing to try to throw back a rebuttal, one of the guys just goes, 1-2, clean down. Fucking connects on both of them. He looked at me doing this and saw me getting laughs, and he was like, "Not even gonna try. This kid's getting fucking socked." Dude. Just 1-2, clean down the middle. Yeah, and
Dude, that is the most Boston thing. Me no speak too good. Me use my hands.
He just punched. He was like, Quincy, asshole.
He's like, dude, I have 1 weekend off from the sand and gravel. I come out to this nice ski trip, and this fucking piece of shit over here says that Quincy's not a part of Boston.
Dude, it's a part of. Dude, the whole thing's a part of Boston.
Dude, I don't care if you're from Medford or Peabody or Dorchester. That's all part of Boston.
Dude, you could be from North Tewksbury, South Tewksbury, East Tewksbury, Northwest Tewksbury.
Dude, Worcester is just Boston East, okay?
Yeah. Dude, but yes, I remember the other kid I had gotten into an argument with, and then the friend was the one that punched me, but there were 2 guys. But the kid I was arguing with pissed me off more than the friend that punched me.
Even after?
Andy was smaller. Even after he punched me.
Yeah.
Because the punch I kind of respected. I was like, fair enough. But he was a little like, type kid. So there was a bus aide. He comes, breaks up the fight. It's like this whole crazy thing. Everything calms down. And then I just see an open shot on the little guy, not the one who punched me. And I just went, as soon as I waited till it calmed down, and then I popped him in the face, and then the bus exploded again. And I distinctly remember the bus aide going, "Buffalo guys, off the bus." He kicked us out by town. Buffalo guys off the bus. It was like,
It makes sense. Boston versus Buffalo. I can't imagine throw Philly in there, and that's three of the white trashiest places that could fight.
Just fucking mooks, just absolute goons, dude. Goons, dude. Yeah, I wasn't I didn't get in a lot of fights. I remember when I lost my virginity, I lost it to.
You had to knock her out first.
Yeah.
She kicked my ass after. It was too fast.
I gave it a 1-2, and then I came out a man.
I don't know if you were definitely not this guy because you're a bigger dude, but I had friends who were big guys, and they would always kind of like be the unofficial bodyguard of the situation. Where, like, if some of us were mouthing off a little more, you kind of got a little more confidence because you knew, like, my buddy's a, all-state football player, whatever. Yeah. Like, he's a bigger dude. And so we had a couple guys who were bigger guys, and I would always use that as a leash to get mouthy. And I remember that at one time, when I lost my virginity, I slept with this girl, and in my front seat of my 2003 Subaru Forester, shout out Subaru.
Shout out Subaru.
Yeah.
Unofficial sponsor.
First time heterosexual sex has ever been had in one of those.
Hey, a lot of scissoring, you know?
I thought you were just going to say that was your first time having heterosexual sex. I was like, it's about to take a direction.
Technically, it was.
This is a hot fucking breaking news. Luke sucked his own dick in a Subaru.
It was in the parking lot of this apartment complex after this concert, and then somebody that was in the apartment came out and like shined a light on us. We were like, we got to go. So I'm hammered, driving the car, the girl's in the passenger seat, and we just go to the local neighborhood bar, and all our friends are there. And I remember I showed up, and I was like, dude, I lost my virginity. Because my buddies would make fun of me. They were brutal. They were all 2 years older than me, so they would go like 1 or 2 years.
How old were you?
I was 18, and they were 19 and 20, and they had most of them lost their virginities 18, so they were at least a year or two ahead of me, and they would fuck with me all the time, dude. We'd be at parties, and they'd be like, Jessica, you know Luke's a virgin, right? Just walk away and leave me with it. And so I remember I walked in, I was like, dude, I fucking lost my virginity. And my friend was like, you lost your virginity? And the whole bar was like, yeah! They were like, psyched. Everyone's like, let's go. And guys are like high-fiving me and hugging me like I won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then one of my buddies goes, hey, I went outside. We were going to go to like another bar with me and the girl. And one of my buddies goes, hey, her boyfriend was a big drug dealer, sketchy dude. And he was like, he's outside. And I was like, no. He's like, yeah, he's outside. And I remember I was too drunk. I was just like, it's fine. Dude, whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I remember I walked down there, and we like trotted down this little hill towards my car. And we got down there, and her boyfriend was with his friend. And the boyfriend had an empty bottle in his hand, a beer bottle. And I was like, I'm going to get fucked up right now. And I started, and he's like yelling. He's like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Were you fucking him?" Blah, blah. Like, he's like screaming at her, screaming at me. And I was just being like, "I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I just gotta take this on the chin." And then all of a sudden, he starts going, "Get rid of your fucking bodyguard." And I was like, "What?" And I look at my friend Chris, who's like 6'4", is just standing next to me, just like this. And I was like, yes! I was like so psyched. I was like, we did it!
Your demeanor changed. You were like, oh, pussy, what's up, dude? I did.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I really didn't mean it.
Welcome to hell, baby.
No, but he was screaming. He was like, get rid of your bodyguard. And then I remember the cops came because he was being so noisy. And they like picked him up. And I don't think they arrested him, but they just took him away. And then I just like got to go back into the bar.
Dude, you're lucky. If I was a cop and I showed up and he was like, that guy fucked my girlfriend and lost his virginity, I'd be like, fair. You guys can fight. It's fair.
No, I would have gave you a pound.
I would have gave you a pound and I'd be like, I'm going to let him beat you up now.
Your virginity story is like a Bob Seger song meets an American Pie movie.
It's pretty good, dude. It was like, pretty good.
You were having sex in a Subaru Forester, and then the cops came. They shine a light on me. Shine a light on me.
Dude, when I lost my virginity, it was
Light bottle in his left hand.
Sick, dude.
Hitting on the top of my head.
I went and met up with my boys and had a few beers.
I was 19. Nice. I remember.
Yay.
And it was, all right, dude. Sorry. What were you, 13?
14.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Problematic here.
I'm surprised you're not in worse shape lifestyle-wise.
Oh, I am.
The kids that lost their virginity early were fucked up.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, they always ended up on pills and stuff. They were ahead of the curve too hard.
There were kids in my school that lost their virginity like at like 12. It was wild.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I remember being on the bus in 8th grade, and we were taking a trip. We were supposed to go to Six Flags, but 9/11 happened. Thanks, Osama. And we went to this fucking Bullwinkle's, which is like a ghetto amusement park on Long Island. And we took the bus there, and I remember a kid getting a hand job in the back of the bus, and I was like, I'm just excited to hang out at this amusement park. I was like, what are people doing, dude? It was crazy. I was like, just kissed a girl for the first time, and he's getting a hand job in the back seat.
I know.
Crazy.
I remember times like I had a couple girls that come to my house when I was in high school, and we would like make out for hours. And
Sick.
it was pretty sweet, dude.
That's pretty tight.
And I remember thinking back, I'm like,
Why
you could
are
have just
you gay?
tried to bang her. Do you guys have that clip?
We got to download it.
Okay.
Why are you gay?
That would've been perfect. But I remember, I didn't even think of trying to have sex with them. I was like 15, 16. I was like, it wasn't in my mind to try to bang. I was just like, I'm like, oh, dude, 4-hour makeout session. Sweet.
Yeah, because that's what they did on Seventh Heaven and all the other shows. They just make out for hours. And I was like, this is the end of it.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
My dad was my dad though. Like I had a guy that was like saying like shit to me when I was like 5 years old, like saying shit like he's like, I'm gonna see if this girl tonight, Ray, wants to toot the flute and swallow the music. He had all these little sayings. He was like,
That's awesome.
I'm gonna
Dude,
be
strike that. That's the name of the episode.
Dude, the flute and swallow the music.
Holy
Damn,
shit,
that's
Ray.
awesome.
And then I'd be like, Dad, what's that mean? And then he would proceed to tell me exactly what he meant by it. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
so funny. My dad's like an adorable nerd. My dad would be like, oh, she seems nice. Where'd you meet her? Well, be careful. If you like her, that's great. If it doesn't work out, that's fine too. That's what my dad was
Your
saying.
dad seems like a guy who would like give you a condom to be like, practice safely.
Yeah, that's what he's a sweetheart. My mom was the more vulgar one.
Really?
My mom, you'll be like, everybody's talking about like, you'll be talking about like sexuality. There's something that happens, two people fucking, and you're like using innuendo. Like, they were in the backyard, doing, like, I don't know what they were doing back there.
Yeah, they were
Everybody's,
back
like,
there
doing
cleaning the barbecue, if you know what I mean.
Because you're at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, she was giving him a blowjob. She never lets the they were having sex. He was on top of her having sex with her.
Can you pass the stuffing? Thank you.
Yeah.
Dude, Ray's dad on the opposite is a guy who I'm sure told you was like, if you're not doing it raw, it doesn't count.
Really?
No, but he has.
I believe
He never said.
after the toot the flute and swallow the music. I believe that.
Do you want to hear a crazy story about my dad? My brother's a little less of a degenerate than I am in a lot of aspects. He's like a family man. He's been with his wife since high school and like just a good dude. And when my dad first moved from Kentucky back to Pittsburgh, him and my brother are in the car together. And my dad's on his phone, and I think it was Backpage, was this site he was going to get prostitutes. And he goes, dude, this one's been sending me pictures, man. Whew, I don't trust myself. My brother's like, what? He goes, yeah, I might eat it. And my brother's like, what, dude? He's like, it's a prostitute. And then and Mike goes, hey, like, can I just ask you a question? You are wearing protection with these women, right? And my dad goes, none of these broads want to get pregnant with an old dude like me. And my brother goes, yeah, man, that's not what I'm talking about. And then he proceeds to say the line, he goes, oh, that shit? Most things are fixed with a shot of penicillin, and AIDS doesn't really exist anymore.
It's a logical man.
I know.
That's a logical man.
Would you like to know how his brother died? AIDS.
That's so
Fucking
funny.
AIDS.
Was that one of those
That's
things?
so funny. Your dad's brother dies of AIDS, and your dad's like, I mean, what are the odds we both get? What? Come on.
No, his line, he was like, hey, he was gay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Was he?
Yeah.
When he died of AIDS, did your family, how old were you when he died of AIDS?
I was 5, so I never met the guy, actually.
Okay. Was there an age where it was like they pretended he died of something else? And then they admitted, they were like, yeah.
No, when
Uncle Donnie died of AIDS.
When I was like Ronnie, actually was his name.
Ronnie?
When I was 13, and he was a great guy apparently. Like I wish I would have met him. He was like actually like a fun fucking dude. Lived in Vegas. Was like a party animal.
I mean, listen, you got AIDS. I'm sure he was fun.
Yeah. Oh, he was slinging it around, dude. And
That's going out on your sword. That's really in terms of partying. That's going out on your sword. It's going out on someone else's sword, really. But it's going out on
your mom would be like, his cock going out on his cock. Actually,
he got fucked in the ass, and then
It's
they
the
gave him a
ultimate,
disease.
dude. It's the ultimate ultimate trump card. You're like, oh, dude, my buddy's crazy. He would drink a 30-pack every night, do coke, sleep at 6, up for work at 7, and you're like, oh yeah, my buddy died of AIDS.
Yes. Nothing sounds more badass than that.
He was a bigger partier than your buddy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is there a more fun terminal disease to get than AIDS?
That is true.
Yeah.
More fun?
More fun?
No,
Like a more fun way
Oh,
to path
terminal.
there.
Terminal. Okay.
No, nobody gets barebacked into leukemia, you know?
That's what I'm saying, you know? Yeah.
Jesus.
No. Yeah, nobody ever got Parkinson's from coming too much.
Oh my God.
Nobody left Vegas with a case of ALS.
Trying to fucking continue, and I thought about bareback. Yeah, dude, he's just going to a bachelor party, coming back with dementia. Oh man, partied way too hard this weekend.
Oh, that's so good, man. Nobody's fucking their way into MS, is what we're saying here.
Yeah, if you do it right.
Oh, man.
Oh, damn, dude.
Oh, that's so... Dude, barebacking is going to make me laugh 10 times out of 10, somebody saying bareback.
I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I haven't said the term bareback
Ray's
maybe
most-
ever before.
Ray's most vulgar way to describe sex, which I fucking hate, dude.
He loves it.
What?
Is when you say digging out.
Digging
Go
out.
dig her out.
Dig
I would
her
say to Dylan would make him so mad. He'd be like, I went on a date last night. I was like, oh, did you dig her out? He's like, come on, dude.
Digger out's gross. Bumping uglies is up there.
That's funny, though.
Bumping uglies is funny.
The one that makes me painting her ceiling makes me laugh, but that's
that's
also
mine.
pretty. That's yours, dude.
I invented
know.
that one.
Black people say shoot your club up.
That's funny.
What is it?
It's when you come in a girl, they say I shot her club up.
I shot the club up, yeah. That's
Isn't
a
that
good
great?
That's
They're so
funny,
much
dude.
funnier than us.
Yeah. Oh, always.
The average black guy in a bodega is funnier than every comedian I know.
100%.
Unbelievable.
It's insane.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I've told the story multiple times. The fucking black kids on the subway, dude. They fucking killed me, man. It's my biggest fear now is just
Yeah.
getting roasted by young kids.
Oh,
Because you can't, like you said, dude, there's nothing you can do about it. What am I going to go beat the shit out of a 12-year-old? And then have their family come and get me? Not even the police. Have their family in prison when I inevitably get locked up? Have them come after me? Nah, I'm good.
Did I ever tell you when I like volunteered for like a couple months in Boston, and it was like in the hood in like Roxbury,
Court ordered?
Rochester? No, it wasn't court ordered. It was a long story. It wasn't court ordered. It was with this lady I met. It was supposed to be for this like public access thing, and it didn't happen. But we ended up just volunteering a lot, which was fun. But the volunteering that like there were other guys that handled like the food.
Of course, Luke would volunteer if it led to an opportunity.
Yeah. I wanted to not say it at all. I thought it was a gig.
He's like, how many cameras we have, and what's the shoot look like?
I don't know if you know the Salvation Army's on gig sale.
It's just a 3-camera shoot? What's the per diem?
I found these homeless kids on Indeed, dude. I got locked in. No, it was like, but we would volunteer kind of, yeah, and there were like other guys that would set up like the food station stuff. It was like barbecues and stuff, but it would always be near a basketball court, and I would play basketball with the kids. These are little 13, 14-year-old black kids, and I was like 21 at the time. They were like 12, 13. Way better than me at basketball, not even close. And they talk shit when they play.
Yep.
And they talk shit, and so I was like, okay, I can do the shit talk thing. I'm terrible at basketball, so we're playing and we start talking shit. And the one kid, the funniest one, so I was like, I gotta take him down before he says something too funny. And I'm the nerdy white guy. He was wearing a polo shirt, but the polo logo, instead of being on his chest like normal, was like almost like weirdly on his ribs. And I was like, oh yeah, is that a polo shirt? I was like, you know, your mom got that from Lot Less, and she just like ironed on the polo. I was like, that's an iron on polo. I was like, you're like, Mom, that's not the right place. It has to look like real polo. And I started making fun that his mom used an iron on polo, and they all started dying. And then, like, an hour later, another one of the kids, he and I were, like, you know, dribbling and guarding each other. And he starts talking shit to me. And the kid with the polo shirt goes, hey, bro, you don't want to do that. He can't ball, but he nice with them jokes.
That had to feel amazing.
It's such a better compliment,
You know
dude.
your strength, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, can we tell the story? After the club, when we were at 7th Street, when Anjan loves a story. We're at 7th Street, and that crowd is there, and I did it. I had a hot set. You had a hot set. You went last. I went like third to last, something like that. And there was those like hood couple in the back. Do you remember this?
Yes. Yeah, they were, dude. We both had a great set, and I was doing like a lot of crowd work and stuff, talking about them from the Bronx, how they met, and it all like led to this crazy.
And black audiences love Luke typically.
Yeah,
me.
We're different acts. We're different acts. We're different acts. So the guy's like stoned and like super hood and like, yo, so talk like this. And he goes up to Anja and he goes, hey, bro. And I was wearing an FDNY shirt and I closed out the show and he goes, hey, bro, dude in the FDNY shirt was cool. Next time, you got to let Dylan close. He's like adamant about Dylan's going. He's like, hey, bro, for real. Everybody talk about dude in the FDNY shirt. Ain't no Dylan started the show, man. Man, y'all gotta be having Dylan gotta be the closer. And then he went up to Dylan. He's like, "Yo, you gotta be closer. You tell them you gotta be closer."
Is this why Dylan's been closing so much?
Yeah.
This guy has input there.
That guy did give his stamp of approval,
Dude, one of my biggest comedy credits is having a black dude like me more than Luke.
Dude, I literally had a
more.
quote on my website when I used to, before my website got shut down, before I couldn't afford the domain, is I had this quote because I used to open for a lot of the like feature, because a lot of the black comics that would come through the club in Pittsburgh would request a white feature, and I opened for Bruce, and this one dude comes up to me after the show and goes, "Hey man, you one of the only white motherfuckers that ever made me laugh like that. You, Ray Romano, and Seinfeld." And I've never been happier in my entire life. I was like, fuck yeah, man.
I've definitely told you this story like 100 times, but I don't know if I've said it on a podcast. But I same thing with what club was that at?
The Pittsburgh Improv.
Pittsburgh. There's clubs that are like primarily black clubs. They're national headlining clubs, but the black acts, they really never moved to theaters.
Yeah.
And they sell unreal tickets for like 30 years. So Buffalo's got a lot of black people. It's like 50-50 split. And all the black headliners sell way more tickets. So if you open at the Buffalo Helium, it's like a 90% chance it's a black headliner who got famous in like 1991.
And they're so loyal.
Yes.
Their fan base
are loyal. So I had to open for Tommy Davidson, who is... Have you met him?
Yeah. No, I've seen him there.
Did you get the full experience?
No, I
You didn't get the green room experience?
No.
I don't want to talk smack about another comic here, but no, he's hilarious.
Say it, dude.
He murders.
Say it.
He murders on stage. But he's a crazy man. He's a wild person.
Yeah.
He was giving us a speech in the back. It was me and Matt Bergman. You know him?
Yeah.
Little nerdy, a little nebbishy white guy, Jewish little like and it's me and Matt Bergman and Tommy Davidson. He's going, hey man, you got to walk on a tightrope. Comedy's like a tightrope. And you walk in, and he's walking like he's on a tightrope across the green room, like moving us out of the way. He's like, you on a tightrope, and I can't be worried about a guy in the orange shirt over there because I got to focus on the tightrope. And then he starts going, you know, Tom Brady was slinging that thing. He go, I'm Tom Brady. But then all of a sudden, Peyton Manning. And Tom Brady go, shit, that's Peyton Manning. And then he kept going, does that make sense? And we were like, absolutely. 100%. Crystal clear, Tommy. Didn't skip a beat, Tommy. Crystal clear. So he's doing that the whole time. Mind you, it's black grandmothers in the crowd because he got famous 4 years. I think he got famous like 1990, 1991. I was born in 95. So the people in the crowd are like 58, 60-year-old black ladies, some of them older. And his opening bit is he goes on stage and I was hosting, so like there's a ramp onto the stage. So I would walk down the ramp and it'd be like this sexy R&B song, and he would come up and dance his whole way up, and in stride he would just dap me up like he didn't miss a move. It was so smooth. And then he would rip his shirt off to the R&B song, and he's shredded, and he would mime like face fucking an old lady in the front row. Mind you, she loves it, her friends love it, and the crowd is now on their feet. They're all like, yeah! Like they love it. And he's like humping a lady's head in the front row. This is his opening bit. And he's opening with a standing ovation on the head hump, R&B, shirtless, dap up the host bit. So then he proceeds to slaughter every night for like an hour. I'm like telling stories about growing up in Buffalo. Like, one time you got fake IDs. Like fucking bombing, dude.
He's face fucking some old broad in the front row.
I'm like, I can't face fuck. I don't have face fuck confidence, dude. I can't dance. I can't face fuck. I can't do anything.
You're telling a room full of black people, like, have you guys ever shared a porn account with your friends?
Yes. That used to be my old closer when we first started. Yeah. So I'm doing bits like that, bombing. And one of the shows, it's like in between the early and the late. And I'm out in the parking lot of the Buffalo Helium, like smoking a cigarette, just like, Jesus, because I just ate it. Mind you, I'm eating it for like 350 people.
Yeah.
It's sold out. I'm like eating it. I'm like smoking a cigarette, like shaking like a fucking battered housewife.
Yeah.
Like, and this lady is getting wheeled by her grandson, this old black lady, and she motions for him to stop. And she has him stop at me so she can say something. And she goes, "You did good, baby. You did good." And I said, "Thank you." And I know there's more. And she goes, I'm like 3 years into the comedy at this point. She goes, "Was that your first time?" I was just like, I think I was like, yes.
You just took a long drag.
Yes.
Yeah. Was that your first time?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Because I used to do all those shows, like the other like black dudes in the scene in Pittsburgh would book me for like shows that they would do, and I would do well most of the time. But there was this one time I did a comedians and casino night at this like VFW. And it was like scat, like the room like should have sat like 300. There was maybe like 60 in there.
Yeah.
And show starts very late, and I get up on stage, and there's a DJ on stage, and they bring me up to Another One Bites the Dust, and I'm literally the only white guy in this room of all these people, and I get up and I go, I have to do 30 minutes, and I get up on stage and I was like, damn man, I was like, this isn't gonna go well. Bringing me up to fucking Another One Bites the Dust gets a huge laugh. It would be one of the last laughs that I got for the next 30 minutes because I'm on stage and like nobody's paying attention to me. They're talking, they're like laughing, having their own conversation, to the point where I'm like, "Yo, shut the fuck up, shut up!" And I hear the.
I'm sure that went well.
Well, no, it did not go well. I hear
Ray in that shirt telling a room full of black people to stop talking.
Hey, look at me.
Cut the malarkey. Cut it out.
I'm gonna call the principal.
That's enough of the jibber jabber.
Hey, you want to talk? Go to the movies.
But the dude DJing, I hear his phone. He's watching a video on his phone. And I was like, "Hey man, what the fuck? You of all people? Like we're both together. We're like performing together. We're both getting paid."
God.
And he was like, "No, man, I'm watching a video of you." And I was like, "No, you're not watching a video of me. You're watching a video of a Snapchat that you got from one of these motherfuckers out here making fun of me."
Yeah.
And then some table over there starts dying laughing. I was like, "You, fuck you." And
They
then
were Snapchatting
they were
That's
fucking,
so
oh
funny.
dude, it was, and I got off stage and I was just like trying to hustle out of there. And then one dude cornered me and he shakes my hand way too long. And he's like, "Hey man, like your shit was good. Your shit was good, but you can't be going on that long. Like you were going on too long." I was like, I got paid to do 30 minutes. He's like, "No, you were just talking too much." I was like, "All right, man." I was like, "I can't do this. Like we can't have this conversation." I was like, "You guys didn't like me from the second I was up there. It was just bad. Sometimes it's not your night." He's like, "No, you're good. Just shorten it up a little bit."
Like 30? You need to do 5 to 7. That's your sweet spot, kid.
He was like, "I was lighting you the whole time."
Did I tell you at the story Trent Wells? Trent Wells is a comedian in Boston. Super funny. He told me this story. He did Slades. This is the one black room in Boston. Sounds eerily similar to the word slaves, but it's called Slades with a D. Nobody get that mistake.
People always said notoriously good wings. I've had them. Bad.
Really?
Bad. It's just fried chicken.
You're slandering slave lives.
They're like, "Oh, it's the best wings." And it's like, you know when people give you a wing and it's like the full on, it's like
drumstick.
The wing, the drum connected to the wing, connected to that shit part you throw away.
Yes.
That's the wing.
Okay.
And it's like
Just
literally
fried
it's just fried chicken. I'm like, this isn't a wing. This is not a wing.
Somehow that may have been the most offensive thing that was said in the last 45 minutes.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking, you know me, dude. Dan and John's best in New York City.
You love wings.
Love
I
wings.
got to take you to Buffalo. It's going to blow your mind.
That's the best.
But there was Slades was this black room in Boston, And Trent Wells, a buddy of ours, was like on stage. He's a black dude, but he would do the rooms we would do.
Yeah.
And occasionally he would try to give Slades a crack, but he was like, it's always pretty bad. And he was really honest and had all these funny stories about it. One time he said he was on stage and he's bombing, sold out, and some guy in the back just goes, "This ain't for you."
Dude, that is just something you can't do anything about it.
No. When the crowd is funnier than you, you're tough.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the funniest ones that I've ever heard is like as soon as someone walks out and they just go, "Next," without you even saying anything, and you're just like, "Fuck, I gotta leave." How am I gonna come back from that, dude? You can't.
I watched Tim melt down on a guy for saying next to him. We were in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and it was like right before he got like famous. So it was like some of the shows were sold well, and some of them were like papered, like locals. This is like years ago.
Yeah.
And he's on stage, and it's like a boomer crowd, like boomers, and in a Bridgeport's a dump. It's a shithole. So they're like trashy boomers.
Yeah.
And there's a guy with like salt and pepper hair, and Tim does a bit, and it doesn't go well. And the guy goes, "Next." And Tim starts going, "I hope you get raped in the parking lot in front of your wife by a black guy." He starts going on this thing about how he hopes a black guy rapes this guy in the parking lot in front of his wife. It was like a 10-minute rant about this insane scene that immediately, like, Tim was so angry it popped him into like a scene from The Accused, but this guy's Jodie Foster. Like, it was like unreal, dude. I was at the side of the stage. I was like so happy. It was so funny.
You know that you never know where somebody is on their complete snap meter at any given day. Like I was thinking about it, like when
I have one of those.
again, not to.
I left mine in my room. I'm 2 days off vape, by the way. Not to interrupt you, Ray.
I heard you were blowing a lot of vape smoke
No, it's okay.
on this program.
It's okay.
In the what?
dude.
I heard you were blowing a lot of vape smoke on this program.
It's okay that your addiction is just interrupting the show.
Fuck, is this wintergreen?
yeah.
Ah, it burns so good. Sorry, Ray.
What were you saying?
Hey, keep your story
It's
going.
so funny. Any version of
fucking
nicotine
know.
he does gets in the way of what you want to do.
Honestly, I was just going to recite a full episode of Young Sheldon that I remember from earlier and try to morph it into my own story.
Such a
Dude.
good fucking show.
Speaking of funny black dudes, this is a good story. So my dad likes to drink, and
Your dad black?
My dad likes to drink, but he would find friends.
Are you kidding me? Luke would love that. It would be all he talked about.
It would be, dude. It would be sick if my dad was black.
Luke would be walking around and be like, "My dad, he's black."
My black dad?
You talking about my black dad?
So
That's how I know the smell of a hot comb through the hair on Sunday.
So he likes to drink. And so he always finds weird friends because he's down to be friends with anyone who also likes to drink.
Yeah.
So he used to, when I was a kid, 8 or 9 years old, would take me to this place in Niagara Falls, New York, in the hood called EB Games. Might be confused with a famous game store. There used to be, the rival to GameStop was called EB Games. This was not that. This was basically apartment he turned into EB Games, and the EB stand for the guy who owned it, Ernie Bivens. Ernie Bivens, EB Games. What it was you went there were no video games for sale. You could not buy video games. You could not rent them. The entire premise of the business was you would go to this apartment and play video games against him on his couch with him.
Hilarious.
EB Games. This is the entire business model, right?
So
my
good.
dad would take me there, and he would literally take me there, crack open a free beer, start drinking his Heineken, and then Ernie, who's like a 40-year-old man, would kick my ass in Madden. He didn't go easy on us. He would take me and my friends. He would kick our asses in any game we played. Madden, FIFA, NBA 2K. And I was like 0 for 100 against Ernie. But my dad would go, "You want to go to EB Games?" And I'm like, "I guess. I mean, there's video games there. It's fine." And my dad would just drink Ernie's Heinekens and then
so
watch
funny.
Ernie kick my ass in video games. Now, EB Games, unfortunately, was a copyrighted name. So the real EB Games sued Ernie for copyright infringement and shut down EB Games. Now that Ernie's got no source of income, now that he can no longer make his living kicking kids' asses in Zelda, he needs to find a new way to make money. He turned to the streets. He did some time in prison. I heard that Ernie had gone away. I didn't know how long. This is 10, 15 years later. I get a message on Facebook and it says, "Yo, Luke, what's up? You remember me? It's Ernie Bivens from EB Games. Just want to let you know I'm a comedian now. We should do shows together." And he's a successful comic on the black circuit in Buffalo.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah, Ernie
God.
Bivens, dude.
That's
This guy
so
is
funny, dude.
Dude, I almost said it as a joke when you said, but this wasn't it. I was like, what, do you just go play some hood dude at Madden? And you said that exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's exactly
Yeah,
what
he
it
would
was.
bring me. Yeah, it was.
Oh, is that
Would
so
you
great?
pay to get in?
You'd pay him like $20, and then you basically
so
got
good.
unlimited time for him to beat you on his couch at his video game.
But he
It's
was
kind
always
of a
on the
great-
sticks.
It's kind of a
It was
beautiful
great.
business
Oh,
model.
he would let us get turns. If my dad brought one of my buddies with us, then we would get a turn. But then Ernie would play winner, and then Ernie was the winner, and then one of us have to play Ernie, and then Ernie plays the other one.
Just
But
back and forth, back and forth.
Ernie never really
alternating.
lost. Ernie never took a loss until that court rap. You know, until the day of sentencing, Ernie never took it out.
Until the judge said 12 to 15.
Yeah.
That's
Then
the
he
first
took-
loss he took.
Then
Shout
he
out
took
Ernie.
the biggest loss of all.
What do you go to jail for? Do you know?
I don't know, and I don't want to be in the man's business about what he was doing nefariously. But
He's
I'll
going to
say-
hear this pod and message you and be like, it was murder.
Ernie didn't murder anybody. Ernie's go see Ernie's shows. Ernie's still kicking.
He's going to message you like, so you did see my message about doing shows together.
Did you respond?
I did respond.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, let's do it.
Dude, if he's ever in New York, I'd love to have him at the club.
I'd love to have him on the pod.
I'd love to have him on the pod. You kidding me?
Dude, he's got to have some stories.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
Dude, make the connection, dude.
I'll set you guys up with Ernie.
Set us up with Ernie.
Have you guys had a black guest on here?
Yeah. 2.
Not since I've been here.
How about Asian? If you had Asian guests?
Yeah, we did.
Kunal.
Okay, that's fair.
You know
Indian?
that's
Indian
he's-
dude?
You know that's not what I mean,
Fuck
dude.
off.
You know
you're
that's-
something different. We have you.
I'm only asking
Don't
because
tell Luke he's something different.
you
The entire time I've known Luke does this thing where he's a white guy from Buffalo who is Italian and Lebanese. And depending on who we meet, he'll be like, we met a big Lebanese comedian.
This was years ago.
years ago, dude.
Still holding
And,
me to it.
Dude, it was so funny. The guy comes in. Luke changed his spot on the lineup so he could go right for him. Had a great set, I will say.
Thank you.
And the guy was like, he kept coming up to Luke and going, Touma, my brother.
was calling me my
Introducing him
brother.
to
Hell yeah.
all his friends. Didn't you open for him somewhere? Like
Yeah, I opened for him once.
like a big place, right? I don't even remember.
I don't remember. I don't remember where I opened for him, but it wasn't that big. But
He
it was cool.
This guy was, you know what's crazy? We were talking about this. All these comedians who are like massive in other countries, and then they come to New York and do open mics.
Yeah,
And they're like, oh, this is, I met someone last night, and the guy was like, oh, this guy is like the Kevin Hart of Argentina.
that guy
and I
Rafi
go,
Bastos,
sick, dude.
Rafi Bastos.
Yeah, but that's
that
the
guy
same thing
is like
as
huge in South America.
It's like, why don't you stay there?
Remember
You could
that-
have a mansion.
well, people
Remember that
from other
French guy?
countries, they're like surgeons and they come here and drive taxis.
Yeah,
It's like because credits don't transfer over here. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm a surgeon, and they're like, nah, you're a janitor. Clean the bathrooms. This fucking guy's a surgeon. I'm a rocket scientist. Forget about it. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, you're the Kevin Hart of fucking, Zimbabwe. You're not the Kevin Hart of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. Well, you work for that? Oh, you like an astronomer or something? Yeah. And I'm Drew Brees.
Nah, my old lady's into all that astronomy. She's a Libra this day.
Yeah,
She's the
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
the moon is full. Get out of my
We
face.
get it, buddy. You're a Virgo. Clean the toilets.
oh, you're a Virgo? I hope you fuck someone soon.
Dude. Yeah, there are a lot of foreign comedians. There's that. Do you remember that French
Crazy.
guy? There was a French guy. I mean, this is true, so I'm not breaking any news here. There's a French guy, and he came over here, and he was like the Kevin Hart of France, arenas, and he befriended Seinfeld, and Seinfeld was like, this guy's next up.
Gad
He's the
Elmaleh.
best. Gad Elmaleh. So he befriended Seinfeld, and Seinfeld was like, this guy's the best. He's going to be the next big thing. He's already the next big thing in Europe, blah, blah, blah. People started putting his specials, because they were all in French, into translators. He had been stealing hours of Seinfeld material word for
my
word.
God.
And Seinfeld was like, this guy's great, because he's writing in his style. He's been stealing his bits in French, which is a great hack.
That's
dude.
hilarious, dude.
You know there's a
Hilarious.
killer in India, and we could just put his fucking act into Google Translate and start headlining.
Yeah, he's just doing. Dude, there's a guy in India just doing Bert Kreischer.
Yes.
He rips his shirt off. He's all malnourished.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those foreign guys here.
It's wild, dude. It's wild. All right, dude, we just hit an hour. Over. You guys ready to wrap?
We can wrap it
This
up.
was great. This was really
so
fun.
fun.
This
was a
fucking
great
flew
time.
by, dude.
Well,
It's a nice little fucking hang, dude.
Do you did you have anything you wanted to get off your chest?
Off my chest.
Yeah. Do you have any people you want to call out?
Do you want me to call out Dylan?
I don't know.
What is it? You talking about? Is it something to have to do with Dylan?
This is my new segment I just added today.
Is there anyone you want to burn at the end of the podcast?
It's all beef with Ray.
Beef with Ray.
We settle some beefs.
I'm not a big fan of Mark Wahlberg. I'll say that right now.
Really? Oh, he's the best, dude.
He's not
Fuck
the
Mark
best.
Wahlberg,
He's not
dude.
the best. He's not the best. He's a decent actor. He was very good in Departed, and he's very good in Boogie Nights. He's got some great.
My favorite work of his is when he beat up that guy in Boston.
You know what I'd like to tell Mark Wahlberg is wake your ass up at 4 a.m., do your little workouts, then wait another 6 hours till I wake up and come fucking find me, bro.
Yeah, dude. Ray
He
will
would beat the
piece you up.
shit out of you,
I'll
Ray.
fuck Mark Wahlberg
I think he's
up.
like 5'6", dude. Ray might piece him up.
I'll fuck Mark Wahlberg up.
I think
They're
he's more
small.
like 5'8". He's a tall guy.
An open
We met
challenge
a-
to
dude,
Mark Wahlberg.
These Hollywood people are short.
They are.
The guy we met yesterday. I don't want. When does this come out?
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I could say it now.
Yeah.
We did a podcast with Chet Hanks.
Yeah,
which was wild.
baby.
Chet's jacked, but very small. Small
Yeah.
man. Hollywood
People look
are
bigger on
small.
camera. They look huge on
And
camera.
you don't want to be too big because, like they said, if you're going to be with a female lead, if there's like a romantic scene or if you're, whatever, they
Yeah.
want you guys to be kind of similarly in the frame. They don't want you towering over the chick that you're paired
All
up.
those actresses, like the Sydney Sweeneys of the world and them, they're like 5'2" to 5'4".
They're tiny.
Like being tall in Hollywood is 5'5".
Tom Cruise is like
He's
notoriously
5'6".
tiny as fuck.
yeah.
Small
He's
guy.
a badass dude. I think Tom Cruise would whip Mark Wahlberg's ass.
There's no way.
No fucking way, dude.
there's no-
That guy's all talk. He's all CGI.
He
Dude.
will whip Mark
Wahlberg's
Wahlberg's ass.
yoked. I gave it to you because you got a head above Mark Wahlberg.
Nah, me and fucking Cruise.
Yeah, you got a head and about 300 pounds on Mark Wahlberg.
300 pounds. Is that what we're doing now? Is that we're not even being clever anymore? We're just trying to hurt people's feelings. Guy has 2.5 fucking White Claws. And he's like, "Oh, you fucking 600 pounds."
dude. Come on. Hey, I
Fucking
apologize.
cock.
I apologize.
Don't touch me. You fucking prick. Now I got fucking beef with Dylan.
No, yeah, this is the beef segment,
This
dude.
is the beef segment. Oh my
fucking
god.
saw you without a shirt off when I came over here. You're no fucking Mark Wahlberg yourself.
Dude,
goddammit.
I'm 3 days off carbs, 2
Dude.
days off of vape, baby.
Dude, have you talked to Dylan about his fitness? It's,
All right,
it's
let's
crazy.
wrap the episode up.
Let's keep it going. Have you talked? Because what I've loved about you is like you're one of Dylan's newer friends, but I could tell you're Dylan literate. You speak Dylanese.
I speak Dylan.
You speak Dylanese, dude. You get it. Like he does things, and you'll just point and go, and I'm like, he gets it. Have you heard him talk about his fitness? If I've always said, if you logged how many times and for how long Dylan talks about his fitness, and then just wrote them down on a spreadsheet and showed a stranger, they'd go, "See, your friend's a male model. He's a is your friend Chris Hemsworth?" They would. He talks about it like he's training for an Ironman.
He did the funniest shit last year where he was like, "Dude, I've been losing a lot of weight lately. Do you know what I've been doing? I just eat a bodega sandwich every day, nothing else." Do you remember that? Do you remember that? He said, "Nothing else." Dude, I was like, I don't think that's like, I think you need more food, maybe.
Dude, I recently articulated Dylan's outlook towards Dylan's way of going through life, which I appreciate because I love Dylan, and it is a good way to be. It's better than being a Debbie Downer. But the best way to describe the way Dylan lives life is optimistic in the face of reality.
That's delusional, I think.
Yeah.
I like the other way better.
Delusional, yeah. Delusional's another way to say it.
Okay.
Dude, we're playing pool. It's anything. It's anything. It's Lakers go down 2-0 to the Nuggets, which is the best team ever. He's like, Lakers can win in 6. I'm like, they're gonna win 4 straight. They're gonna win 4 straight because we're rooting for the Lakers. He goes, they can win in 6. I'm like, I guess they could. Dude, we're playing pool. The corner's here. 6 inches away is the ball. 6 inches away is the cue. We mess up a shot. So we mess up a good shot against these guys who are hitting these unreal shots. They get that shot next because we fucked up. Pocket, 6 inches ball, 6 inches is cue. And Dylan goes, dude, they can miss this. I'm like, they just hit a cross-table bank shot, dude. I'm like, what do you mean?
I did say that. That was 4 a.m. About 20 whiskeys in.
Yeah, you were a trooper that night.
Oh,
you were
dude.
throwing, because you were just drinking whiskey. So I was pretty drunk, but by the end you were slammed, and you were better than me the whole night until the
great.
last game because you just got too drunk, and he lost his touch. He was just hitting every ball as hard as he could, and then he'd come over here. I'm so sorry, man. I fucked us up, dude.
Well, that was like 2.5 hours after I left, and we were fucked up then.
You left late, and then we
so
kept
I
it going.
know you guys.
You
had
left
to
at
be-
like 2, and then we played pool for another 2.5 hours.
I said it on stage. We were playing against this like toothless guy who looked borderline homeless, and he was very weird. And at the beginning of the night, we were like, "This guy's weird. What is this? What is he doing?" Like everybody.
Oh, we were so mad.
Us
He
and
kept
all these
playing with his
bros,
girl.
He kept playing
Remember
with
that?
his girls, and he was like telling them what to do.
He's like, hit it right here, and I go, whoa, you can't, no cheating.
He's coaching too much, and we were kind of like not. And he's kind of got his weird homelessy, like crackheady vibe. By the end of the night, we were like, "Dude, Samir's the fucking man. He bought me 9 shots."
Dude, at the end of the game, at the end of the night, like 4:30 in the morning, he bought us a ton of shots, which I was thankful at the moment, regretted. Dude, I was hungover. I got home in an Uber when the sun is rising, the birds are chirping. I had my window down, my head's out the window. I'm like, I went to bed at 5 a.m. Woke up at noon. It felt like 6 in the morning. Yeah. I stayed in bed till 4.
By the time you got home, Mark Wahlberg had already done about 90 chin-ups.
Yeah, he played 9 holes of golf by the time he woke up.
Oh my God. What a mess, dude.
All right.
Yeah. But he did say, he was like, he came up to me after and he goes, you're the guy. You're real good at this.
Yeah,
and I
he
go,
is.
I don't know.
We missed 10 straight shots.
I don't say that. I don't say that lightly. You're good at pool.
Look, I think you forgot all the other times you said this.
I love when somebody who's like just a rando acts like their accreditation means something. He was like, I don't say this lightly.
It did.
but
It
you're
did.
good at pool.
A drunk dude in the back of a bar playing pool. Yeah, it meant everything to me. The 2 best compliments I've received this year is from him and that black dude at our show. That's it.
Yeah, those
I know
both
how I
solid
just talk
compliments.
shit. Some random told me that thing about Seinfeld about 6 years ago, and I'm hanging on to it. So, who am I?
All right, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
This is a good place, dude. This was a great pod,
This
man.
is
Tell
very
the
fun.
people where they can find you.
Folks, thank you for listening. Support these guys. They're doing great things over here. They're wonderful men, and they got a very funny podcast going over here. I had a great time. If you want to check out my podcast, it's called Rough Week Podcast. Search it up. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Shed Hanks episode is out by the time this comes out, so check that out. And some episodes with probably some of your other favorite comedians. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks, boys.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah,
Check out
dude.
Luke. He's absolutely hilarious. Subscribe to his podcast. You could find me on all social media at Ray Zawodni.
Change the name, dude.
Change the name.
I noticed it last week.
Like an adult.
For years, it was Ray B killing him.
And that could be a Patreon episode for why it was called that. But yeah, follow me at Ray Zawodni. I'm posting clips there, and I also post stand-up dates and that sort of thing.
Hell yeah.
Dylan. Where
At
can they
Dylan
find
Krasinski, everywhere, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and follow the Troublemakers Instagram. We post clips 4, 5, 6 times a week on TikTok and Instagram. Episodes are out every Wednesday. Go follow Luke, and we'll see you next week, baby. Good night.